Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Two Step Builds. So, last video I said I'm going to get an episode out a week. I also said that was kind of dependent on whether or not we all caught the plague. I caught the plague apparently. So, been super sick again after the last time I said I'm not going to the doctors because all I get is oh, you're sick. Ended up going to the doctors. Hey, did you know that you're sick? So, turns out I was sick. Horrible sinus infection. I'm on an antibiotic. As a precautionary, they wanted me to do the COVID test. So, hopefully should hear results back on that today. I don't think I got it, obviously, but I guess you never really know. But anyways, been kind of working in the garage a little bit. This sickness has been beating the crap out of me, honestly. It's been... it feels like my head's going to explode. So we have done a little bit of work in here, though. We'll kind of take a look at what we've done here in a second. I want to do a quick review on a couple of tools that I got. It just kind of goes to show that you don't have to spend $1 million on tools. Like, obviously, it's nice to have Matco and Snap-on and all these name brand tools, whatever. But at the same time, like, I got a couple tools down here that I got to combine. Maybe, well, I don't know, 75 or 80 bucks here, and they've been an absolute lifesaver. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those. We'll take a look around at what we've done today. We're going to strip down the front end again. Again, we'll get into that here in a second. And then I think today what I'd actually like to do is mate the engine to the transmission, get it slid up underneath there, mock it up, kind of see how our cross member is going to line up, and then we'll kind of go from there. But let's go ahead and roll the intro, and then we'll get to work. Alright guys, welcome back here. So anyways, we're going to take a look at a couple of tools that excuse me, that I've picked up from a couple different places over the years, and honestly they've been an absolute lifesaver. A couple I have absolutely nothing to relate them to, so I can say that they're the best tools out there, but honestly I've never used Snap-on or Matco or even I guess a Craftsman, if you want to start talking like high-end kind of stuff, whatever. I guess it's name brand, whatever. But first thing we're going to look at, and if you've got a Skyline, I'm telling you, you've got to go get one of these. They're from Walmart. It's an oil filter removing wrench. And the way it works is you kind of open it up, you slip it on the wrench, and then as you turn, it kind of starts clenching that jaw down. And I'm telling you, this was $5 at Walmart, and this has been a godsend of a tool. So if you've got a Skyline or any vehicle that it's really difficult to get the oil filter off with, which is, I think, all of them, go get you one of these. I used it on my motorhome. I actually used it on the truck. I've used it on the Skyline multiple times because the Skyline, it's all covered up right now, obviously. But the oil filter sits basically underneath the intake manifold, smashed up against the Hikes pump, and there was nothing I could do. Oil filter wrenches, those socket ones, there's nothing I could use. I went out, I bought one of these, and I'm not kidding. This thing is awesome. So $5 at Walmart. It's a hyper tough, absolutely killer. I'm not sponsored by any of this, but I just wanted to give you guys kind of a heads up on a few things that I use that I haven't spent a lot of money on. Second thing, my little grinder that I got here from Home Depot. It's a Bosch unit. It was literally the cheapest one on the shelf. $40 for this guy. Again, no real experience with other grinders, so I can't really say, oh, this is better than whatever, because I don't know. But for the money, this thing has been absolutely killer. I love this tool. I've been using it to cut some of the fenders up. Love this thing so far. It's been flawless. It does get a little warm. It's got some vents on the side, so you got to just kind of be, cognizant of where your hands are, whatever else. Got the little button that you can push down and lock in and then unlock. But, the handle will move from side to side. I think probably most of them will do that. But this thing has been absolutely killer. Bosch unit, again, not sponsored by any of these, but I just want to give you guys a heads up. And the last thing, I bought this off of Amazon, this little DMT Orion Motor Tech thing. This is what I used to get all of my valves out of my heads with. So it's the little here. So, well, valve spring compressor thing. Comes with a bunch of different sizes of spring compressors. Came with the big C-arm, obviously, a couple of the arms there to compress with, and then the little guy to attach all of these little dudes to. Also, I mean, and it's, you know, it's kind of cheesy, but it also came with like a little pair of gloves, and they're just kind of those little rubber ones and whatever else, but it came with the case. This was $30 on Amazon, and I am not kidding. This thing worked so good. In fact, I am going to use my gloves today because I decided to go ahead and fillet my finger open yesterday, which was awesome. But, you know, $30 on Amazon. It came with a nice case. It worked absolutely flawless. You know, it's probably not as nice as like some of the ones that got, you know, the big handle on it that you can compress down, or pneumatic ones or whatever, but you know, I didn't spend $200 on it either. You know, I'm probably only going to do heads every so often, so why spend that much money on a super expensive part when this absolutely got the job done? So that's just a couple of tools that, you know, I've gotten over the last little while. I think I told you guys when I was working on the Skyline too, those little, here, let me grab them. I also got on Amazon. These are the little pry tools, little plastic guys that you can get like door panels and clips and stuff off with. Again, I think this was $12 on Amazon, something to that effect. Well worth the $12. I'm telling you, you can use screwdrivers, you can use a lot of different things. So much nicer. I don't even know what this one does here, but this one's got like a saw on it. I don't know, in case you need to saw your door panel off. I'm not really sure exactly what all these would be used for, but obviously this one being out, I probably use that one more than all the other ones, but absolutely killer. You know, if you guys are kind of struggling in the shop, look around a little bit. See what you could find. You know, I've had some cheap tools that were crap. Obviously, you kind of, you know, get what you pay for kind of thing. But, you know, sometimes going the cheaper routes, you know, not always such a bad thing. So let's go ahead and we'll flip you guys around and we'll kind of take a look at what we've been doing here in the garage. All right. So, as you can see, crap, stepping on stuff. From the last video, I believe, the whole front end was completely disassembled. So, don't think that the front end is assembled, because obviously it's basically being held together by about three bolts and a cinching strap. But what I was doing here is actually mocking up my fenders. So we did go ahead and pull those off. I do apologize I didn't shoot any video, but I was absolutely disgusting, and it was a very slow process. I think I showed you guys this. I did kind of make a template of how that frame rail kind of contours there. Kind of cut out a little bit for this guy over here, and that helped me a lot. So we took those out back here, went ahead and cut them down, cut around that. That is sitting up a little high right now, but I do believe that it's kind of sitting on the frame rail a little bit there too. I mean, I can't. Anyways, so I got a couple extra little spots that I want to kind of saw away at. I don't know if you can see. I think maybe not, like right here. I don't remember. Anyways, there's a spot that I needed to kind of cut away a little bit more. I know there's one over here that's probably a little hard to see, but I've made a mark over here. So just a little bit of trimming. We'll grind away a little bit of it at it. I am going to grind away at both sides right here and on this side right here. But all in all, I'm actually very pleased with the way these have turned out. I do want to grind away a little bit right here, and I think that'll help this sit down just a little bit more flush, but a little bit higher than I really wanted it. All right, sorry, got a phone call in the middle of that, so I don't know where the video kind of dropped off at, but anyways, I wish it would have dropped a little bit lower. This one turned out, I think, absolutely phenomenal. I learned a little bit from this side on this side. These are the original OEM, if it was actually sitting on a 51 frame, the little cutouts for those things. So I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with this. If anything else, I can just grab some of that rubber insulator isolation stuff and just run a small patch along the side just to kind of cover up the rest of those holes. But all in all, I'm actually very, very pleased with how these are turning out. So today's video, we're going to go ahead, as I trip over everything, we're going to go ahead and pull all these back off. I've got everything pretty much exactly where I want it. And then we'll go ahead and grind away at these couple last little things so I know they fit before we go ahead and fully install those, which will be down the road a little ways, because with all my sickness, I haven't been able to go anywhere, so I still have yet to go buy my my metal. I'm kind of on the fence. I'd like to run 16 gauge because it's thicker. Obviously, with it being a firewall, it'd be nicer for it to be a little bit thicker, but at the same time, any bends that I have to make, specifically down here on the pinch weld where I want to come down and then bend it over so I can actually get those together, is going to be very difficult with 16 gauge. So I may go with 18 gauge. It's all just going to kind of depend once I get there, kind of flap it around a little bit and see exactly which size we're going to go with. So anyways, that's kind of what I've been up to. We did get axles and springs and everything completely rebuilt and reinstalled, new polyurethane bushings. I got the shock purchase taken out. We're going to clean those up and we'll reinstall those. Then we can put the shocks back on. I think that's the last bit of the suspension that needs to be put back on. Oh, nope, I lied. Sway bar. Wow, this thing does not want to follow today. Sway bar is here, so I need to clean that up, paint that, but we do already have the, if you can see in there, we do already have the links, the new links from Summit Racing, so those are pretty much ready to go. So front end's looking really good. Very soon I'm going to go ahead and pull the gas lines and all that out, drop the tank down. We got a little breather that we're going to drill a hole in the tank and put that in, because before, every time I felt the gas, I'd want to keep gurgling back and spilling all over the place. So coming along nice. You know, there's still obviously a whole lot of work to be done. I have been working on these doors the last couple of days, played with the hinges a little bit, and I got this door to line up absolutely phenomenal. If you can see from the side profile here, I mean, the thing just looks absolutely killer. So driver's doors being kind of a pain in the butt. That one's going to take a little bit more work, but she'll come along. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and probably set you up on a time lapse. Time lapses are super boring, I know, but it's a good way to throw in. It's a good way to throw in a lot of video, obviously, without showing you every last little bit of detail, because taking the fenders off, you'll probably get to see me have a good old-fashioned Merrill tantrum while I'm taking the fenders off. That'll be fun. You guys probably haven't seen one of those yet. But get the fenders off, and then yeah, probably start getting the engine, transmission kind of mounted up together, and then we'll go ahead and slap that in there, see what we got to do with that cross member. So without further ado, let's get to work. Alright guys, well as you can see, we finally got the engine transmission kind of mocked up in the truck right now. Actually working on day 3 right now. First day when we were going to take it out originally, I ran into an issue where the bolts I bought, I upgraded the bolts for the engine mounts up to a 1/2 inch. And the motor mounts originally I think were 7/16, so the bolts wouldn't fit through. I had to run to the store and buy one of those step-up drills to actually drill those out. Got some actually big long bolts instead of using these things here, which I bought to run 4 individual bolts. I just bought some 5-inch bolts, threaded them all the way through. I think that'll work out really good. But a couple problems we're running into that I can see. Not to say that I think the truck is sitting completely level and everything right now, but the motor itself is sitting on about a 3.5 degree angle backwards, which as far as I can see, or as far as what I can read, that's actually good because it allows all the oil and everything to roll back into the oil pan and everything. But it's also sitting on about a 4 degree slant to the driver's side. So I think what I'm going to do is take the motor mounts, the actual brackets, take them off and swap them to the other side, because it seems like one of them is definitely longer by about 1 inch than the other one. So hopefully that'll kind of solve our side-to-side angle. But all in all, I'm actually pretty happy. You saw me, I took it, put it in, took it out, put it in, took it out, like a couple different ways. As I was saying earlier about the cheap parts here, my little Harbor Freight engine picker, it works great. It does not have a very long boom on it, so I was trying to get it from the front side there, racking my brain back and forth before I finally realized, hey, why don't you just go from the side? And then that way I was able to finally get those motor mounts lined up, because from the front it was off by almost a foot. I physically couldn't get it in any farther, and that cross member on the front of that thing is hard riveted in there. I wasn't going to cut the rivets out of there. So last couple things we're going to do today, I'm going to get the transmission. It's basically, I got the cross member, just one bolt on each side, and then a block. It looks like I got about a 6-inch gap. So for any of you guys or anybody that's swapping over to an Alpha 518 from the 727 for the overdrive, yes, the transmission is definitely longer. I don't know about my drive shafts yet. Obviously, I'm going to have to probably extend and shorten and whatever else, but the original crossmember isn't too far off, because the actual where it mounts before in the 727, it mounts all the way up underneath basically the transfer case, where now there's provisions on the transmission itself, 3 little bolts that bolt to, and then it'll drop down. So I'm going to custom build a transmission mount for that. It looks like I got about a 6-inch gap between the top of the cross member and the bottom of the transmission. So we'll get a little creative with how we're going to do that. I'm thinking to just buy kind of a universal transmission mount. I'm going to build a plate that'll bolt to the bottom of the transmission. We'll put the transmission mount to the bottom of that, and then I might just use some body lift spacers or some sort of a puck spacer or something to get it down to the point where I can bolt it into the bottom of the cross member itself. So we'll get a little creative with that. It'll be good. It'll be solid. It'll be nice. But anyways, I'm gonna get the transmission kind of lashed down so it doesn't want to fall, because it's sitting on a chunk of wood right now for the space. And so I'm going to get it all strapped down so it doesn't want to move, jack up the transmission a little bit, get those motor mounts swapped around, and then last thing I'm going to try and do today, because I need to run and grab some metal finally for my firewall that you guys can't really see. Anyways, you guys see it. Go grab some probably 18 gauge. I want to go with a 16, but I think the 18 gauge is going to be a little easier to work with, so we'll see. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the leaves pulled out. That way tomorrow I can run up to my shop and get the bushings pushed out so I can use the new bushings. So yeah, we'll just get to work here. We'll swap those couple things around, and then we'll probably end the video. Alright guys, well I think that's where we're going to go ahead and end the video today. I was shooting video of this. I had the gimbal set up over here, and then it died, and was looking at the ceiling or the ground or something like that. So we did get the engine mocked up. I have done quite a few things actually since then. This is many days later here. So I just wanted to go ahead and end the video right here so we can go ahead and get this one edited and get it out for you guys to see. But we'll go ahead and pick the next video up basically right now. The next one we'll kind of go over what we've done, and then yeah, we'll kind of go, we don't give away too much. You'll have to wait for the next one for that one. Hopefully it won't take me too long. Should be out here in a day or two. But anyways, thanks for sticking around. I appreciate you guys watching me. This is a lot of fun for me. This thing has been kind of kicking my butt the last little while, but we're going to keep moving forward. We'll get this thing done. But you guys know what to do. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.